people, planet Earth, all planet. I am live. Let me know. Oh, whoops. Let me know if you can hear me. Know if you can see me. We should be good, but I did have to switch the Wi-Fi's because I was on the wrong one. So hopefully this is stabler, stronger connection. So let me know. Let me know. We got today. We got 3 bags over here. 3 rag bags. If you've never seen one of these rag bag videos before, I used to do them a lot more. I don't do them as much anymore. But I buy these rag bags that are full of t-shirts from a local thrift store, go through them, see if we can find any vintage tees. So you get to open them live with me and share in my experience. We haven't done this in a while. I'm mostly doing this because A, it's fun. B, because we've been working on another video that is taken like all my time and attention. I have not been able to film anything else. So this is kind of making up for that gap. Hold on a second. Yeah, better. Yeah, so that's basically it. Been working on another video series. I mentioned it last week. Working on a breakdown of the vintage clothing in the movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High. So really excited about it. It was a lot of fun. Also wrote this big old article about it for defunct.com. So check out the article and check out the video when it comes out. It looks like it should be coming out, I think, on Sunday. So we won't have to wait too long. Anyway, hopefully I pull some winners. These are $6 a bag, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you get nothing and you have to deal with all the scraps, $6, 3 bags, 18, kind of annoying, especially if you don't get anything. But I'm going to go over a few things first. I'm going to share some stuff I got from the Rag House. I don't do this as often as I used to. Fourth quarter. Before fourth quarter, I would do live streams for members only. And I'm going to get back to doing those. But live stream for members only, going through all the stuff I bought that week. But with fourth quarter, you're just trying to get everything online as fast as possible. So holding everything back from getting processed to show it off just really wasn't feasible. It wasn't a good business practice. But we are going to get back to those. I'll let you guys know as it comes together very soon. But it'll only be for members. So if you become a member, you get private access to that live stream. So anyway, all right, let's go. I'm going to show you some stuff I got the last couple of days. These are like from this week. Here's a really cool one. I don't know what brand this is. It just says Fully Fashion. It's probably just some like kind of knockoff Taiwanese import, but it's like from the 70s. And it's got like this like Alaskan native looking thing with these like flared sleeves. It's a cardigan knit sweater. So it's pretty cool. Definitely from the 70s, probably late 70s, my guess. But I just thought this was like really sweet. Really cool like color blocking here. The texture is cool. Knit. I think it's acrylic. Yeah. 100% virgin acrylic. This might be older than that, to be honest. It's really hard to say. It does not have wash instructions, which kind of makes me think it might be maybe older than that. Could be 60s. That would be kind of strange. Made in Taiwan. That would be pretty early for a Taiwanese production. But it does have it doesn't even have an RN number. So unusual, but still really cool. Really cool. Just picked that one up like a couple days ago. Picked this up yesterday. We got the Carhartt Detroit jacket. This is vintage. Yeah, it's vintage, but it's kind of hard to tell. The tag super faded out, but it's blanket lined Detroit jacket. This will go for $100+. Nice fades, not too dirty, so should do well. It's a smaller size, I think, a little bit, but definitely a cool looking size. This is one of my favorites right here. Picked this up yesterday as well. We got the 1950s. If you can see the tag, 1950s Woolrich Mackinac in like beautiful condition. This is definitely one of my favorites. I haven't tried it on, so I don't know if it fits me. We're probably going to be out of Mackinac season pretty soon here, probably like in peak Mackinac season. But like maybe like I haven't seen a single hole Kind of smells a little smoky. Not too bad, but a little smoky. Um, but beautiful jacket, size 44. She's a pretty good size because typically you find these in smaller sizes. So I don't think I'm a 44. I think I'm probably closer to a 46. So maybe I can't wear it, but I will sell it. Some of them in really good condition go for $200 something dollars, but you can see them. They get sold all the way down to $100 pretty easily. Here's something OGs will remember. We talked about this shirt in last week, but I forgot. This is so funny. I got all these American Thunder tees. Here's this one in a rag bag, probably over a year ago now, and got a bunch of these, and I sold them. But for some reason, this one didn't get sold, and it wasn't even listed. And I found it in my stack of like higher end tees that I guess just sort of slipped through the cracks. So it's kind of funny that we were just talking about finding one of these guys when we found one of these, and here it is. So it's on the Caribbean Dream size large. So needless to say, these will be getting listed soon because I'm surprised I even have it. The last one I want to show off is this right here. We got the Filson. Picked this up yesterday. Yesterday was a really good day. Filson, not vintage. It looks like it has like vintage tag and stuff, but this sort of vintage printed tag has Filson.com on it. I think Filson just likes to be old school. But it's just a black wool, black wool vest. Certainly nothing special looking. But obviously it's Filson, so it's high quality. People will buy these in all kinds of conditions because they can send them back and basically have them either repaired or replaced by Filson. So that's pretty freaking nice. This thing is really nice condition. All it has is like a little spot down here is the only issue. So those are like a handful of things. Obviously not everything I bought, but a few things that I thought were pretty cool from the last couple of days. We've been having like ice storms and snowstorms. So like the rag house has been closed a lot, so I've not been able to get in there as often, which has kind of been a bummer. But making up for it by finding those things like in the last 2 days has been really, really nice. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and let's start digging into these rag bags because we only have 3, so it's not going to be like a super long night. But it's fun. It's fun. It's enjoyable. This one kind of burst open already, so it's all there. I haven't looked into it, but let's go ahead and get started. See what we can find. How are you guys been doing? If you're an eBay seller, how's eBay going? How are the sales going? We've been having a really weird first quarter. Not weird as in like bad, but weird as in compared to fourth quarter. Fourth quarter was like actually pretty bad comparatively speaking. We did like 20% less in sales than we did the previous year. So like that's certainly not what you want to see. But in January, we've been like killing it. So I don't know what it is. It's just like people moving, like instead of buying clothes, they were just buying gifts or experiences in the fourth quarter, and now they're back to buying clothes. I don't know, but that's been our experience thus far. We got the DCL tag. I've never seen this blank t-shirt. It is single stitch. Made in Pakistan. It's a blank, I think, right? Blank pocket tee. I keep those, so we'll hold on to that and put it in our blanks box. I don't know if we're going to, I said it last week, we'll probably do these every so often. Back when I'm in a better, shooting schedule, filming schedule, obviously we won't be doing as many because I'll be doing videos. But I think we will bring this segment back sort of semi-regularly, maybe once a month. Things are slow in eBay. Oh, yeah. Full-time college classes. Man, I remember that. I've done that too many times. When I was in high school, I dual enrolled, so I did college while I was in high school. Then I took a break, went and saw the world. Hey, hold on. Okay. Pretty cool. Single stitch. Got some stains on the Oneida Power 50. Grand Canyon tourist tee. It's got some stains. Probably something you can bleach out. 1991. That's when the art was copywritten. Pretty cool. Not bad. Could be worse. We'll hold on to that one. Yeah, I went, took a break, traveled the country, traveled some in Europe, and then came back, started again. Got sick of it, and went into ministry full time, and then went back after like 10 years, back into school, and then got sick of it and just started eBay or went full time on eBay. Poshmark has actually been pretty good for us too. eBay been slow. We've got another vintage T-shirt, vintagey. No, not that. No, it's not vintage. Just a St. Louis Cardinals tee, 2005. Not. I mean, I guess some people's definition is vintage, but not me. Yeah, Poshmark's been pretty good, or at least better than it normally is for me. I use Prime Lister's automation tool, which you can find a link for and get 30% off in the description. But I use that, and it's actually been really helpful doing automatic sharing and stuff like that. That's definitely paid off and seeing some more sales. Yeah, so we've been dealing with such bad weather out here, like super cold. Oh, that's funny. Got the Barbie tee. I'm gonna hold on to this. It's modern. You can see it's printed here, but obviously Barbie movie came out. I don't know if that's connected to it, but probably worth trying to see if there's a market for it. But yeah, the weather's been just so bad and so cold. But like in my office, there's another one of those DCL. My office studio here is heated by like portable heaters and stuff. So I've not really wanted to like run the heat in here because I don't want to have to spend all that money. And I just do a lot of work at home. So a lot of stuff that I normally would be doing here's a vintage Lee blank. A lot of blank, single stitch on that one. A lot of stuff I'd normally be doing out here, trying to do at home, which means I'm probably necessarily doing less stuff out here in the first place. So yeah, something I had to deal with. Got the McGregor vintage blank t-shirts. What's up with all these blanks? Don't mind blanks. Eventually I'll lot the blanks up and just sell them in a whole lot, but for like a couple bucks a piece. But yeah, that's been really difficult to work. What's this? Oh, that's funny. We got the Skillet fall of 2011 tour tee. If you don't know who they are, they're like a Christian hard rock band. I was really into them in the 90s. Then they kind of went like butt rock kind of thing, new metal-y. They were like grunge and like they were like grunge, yeah, and like in the 90s. Love that. Pretty good too. But yeah, it's been so cold. I don't want to come out here and work and run the heaters and stuff. So like I come out here to film when I have the video to film. I come out here. I actually moved like most of our shipping stuff into our house. I just come out here to get inventory. So yeah. So that means like some stuff doesn't get done as often, like processing a lot of clothing. I have someone that comes and does that, so that does happen still, like photos and stuff. But I don't do the lots, and I don't been sort of skating by with the photos that we get from them. So what do we got here? What is this? Southern Eagle. It's not vintage. It's got the Confederate flag on it. We got some Modern Mountain Dew tea. Has anyone found anything cool at the thrift store? Found anything cool at yard sales? It's not really yard sale season, obviously, but I did see a couple signs last weekend somehow for a yard sale. I'm like, who in the world is actually doing a yard sale? I couldn't imagine maybe an indoor like garage sale type thing, but yard sales. Anyone found anything super dope? I haven't found anything outrageously dope. Um, those are some of the best pickups in the last couple weeks. Mostly just picking up lots of bulk type items, lots of stuff that I wouldn't call them bread and butter items per se, but a lot of mids. Lot of mids. What I've been dealing with. Ooh, 80s vintage Nike track jacket. Those can be, especially the very early ones, can be worth a lot of money. I sold one probably from like, I think it was like 78, 77 on consignment for somebody for like $900. It was green and had the pinwheel on it. Yeah, that was a really good buy. Really good buy. All right, next bag. Got the Boeing, modern Boeing t-shirt. Boeing's been having some problems with that one plane, haven't they? The 737 Max. Just keep hearing about planes being like taken out of commission for safety concerns. So what's this? Oh, Dollywood. You ever been to Dollywood? My brother almost got married there in Pigeon Forge. He was supposed to be married in Gatlinburg on a mountain, pretty Smoky Mountain wedding, and of course, the few days before the wedding, Gatlinburg and that whole area caught on fire, and his the wedding venue was thought to have burned down, but it turned out it didn't actually. And my brother and I were there actually getting stuff ready. He had a house. One of his houses got burned down. It's pretty wild scenario. But anyway, we were like trying to figure out what to do with his wedding if his venue wasn't going to be accessible. And the guys at Dollywood offered to let us have the wedding there, I think for free, or something like that. Now, I think my brother is a little too pretentious for Dollywood, so he probably didn't really want that to be the backdrop, but they were really nice about it. So, come on, we gotta find something. I don't want to waste $18. I guess we have like hat bait. I don't know. Just don't want to waste $18. What's this? Oh, hey. No, this is not that old. We got the R.I.P. Jimmy Buffett t-shirt. 5 o'clock somewhere, Margaritaville. Speaking of warmer weather, so kind of big life decision I'm considering, and I don't, really we're just kind of considering it. It's not even like, well, hold on a second. I'll talk about that in a second. Because we have a vintage Harley on the hollow back. Well, no. Hold on. 2007. Maybe it's not that vintage. Can't tell that says 2007. It's on a hollow back. No, it's 2002. Well, it's technically vintage. All right. Back to life decisions. Unless there's another older Harley here. We're like, my wife and I are at least considering in the early stages of investigating the possibility, even however remote it might be, of moving our operation to Florida. Well, why Florida, you might say? Well, hey, what's up, Rob? Florida, if you didn't realize it, is warmer than the Midwest and pretty much warmer year round. And this South Texas boy doesn't really love the winter. So anyway, that's not all the reasons. We have family down there. We've always loved Florida. So we may decide to pull the trigger, we won't know probably for another like 8 or 9 months. So it's definitely not something that's like in the immediate future, but something to think about. Where's everybody at watching? There's like 16 of us. So everybody ought to be watching from somewhere. So where are we at? Where are we from? Personally, I'm from Southern Missouri. Southern Missouri is where I'm at. We got a Cincinnati, Ohio, Indianapolis, Indiana. We got some Midwest folks in here. Yeah, Rob, I know where you're from. Illinois. Yeah, we got Midwesterners represent. Man, this is a bum of a rag bag. I stopped doing these videos mostly not because they weren't fun or they weren't like people didn't enjoy them. I just literally was not fine. Like the bags just got so bad. Hoosier in Kentucky. Yeah, we got a lot of guys. You guys are everywhere. Like not that far from me. Some of you I've actually visited. All these dumb striped shirts. I only have 3 bags, Rob. I tried to get a few more, but they only had 3. So obviously not going to be like the longest deal. Hey, Rob, did you? I didn't show you this. I'll go back because I did it earlier. I showed you everyone earlier. I was showing off one of the finds I picked up yesterday. 1950s Mackinac, Woolrich Mackinac. Might be 1940s, but it's at least 1950s. Like beautiful condition. Beautiful condition. Really like it. Snaps look good. There's only issues like right back here is like some paint, which I actually think, or like something grubby thing, which actually is coming off. So I think I can get it off, and like one like pinhole there. Otherwise, really clean. Size 44 might be just a little too small for me. Just kind of a bummer. But yeah, she's pretty. All right, third bag. Ugh. Justin, I don't know if you were here earlier when I pointed this out. I think you were the one who mentioned it last week. But look, I still have one of the American Thunders left from way back when. I literally just found it yesterday by accident. I was digging through some of my higher end T-shirts, and it was just sitting in there. I don't know why. I could have swore I sold it. And I could have swore I listed it, but it wasn't listed. So, pleasant surprise. KC's, yes. Hey, Midwesterners. I don't know if you guys have these. It's farther east, but it's a staple here in Missouri, and I know in like, in some other western states. But the apparently, I just heard this today. I'm not even sure if it's 100% true, but the gas station Come and Go is officially changing their name finally. So that's like really important Midwestern news. So Come and Go, spelled KUM, is finally changing their name to something. I don't know what they're changing it to, but anything could be, more better. Could be better than that. So, I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of people speculating as to what the new name should be. Yay! No, that's cool. It's not that old. This is like early 2000s. Dare to resist drug and violence. These used to be like in like 2017, 16. These used to be like worth the money. Not anymore. Not really. Yeah, I don't know what they're changing it to, but we don't actually have any Come and Goes in our town, at least not at gas stations. So I don't really know. I know like just a little bit further west from us in like Springfield, they have a bunch of them. And then further west than that, they're pretty common. And maybe even north. But Casey's is staying the same. And this is a real bummer of a bag. This is why I stopped doing these. Is that they just, I don't know if they like started like pulling out vintage T-shirts, but which, you know, and then keeping them out of the bag. But that's weird because they don't put T-shirts out very much. Like they very rarely put T-shirts out. So unless somebody's like backdooring a bunch of them, what's this? Oh, in memory, Highway Patrol, Trooper Kevin Floyd. R.I.P. Man. Thanks for serving. It's older, but I am not gonna be able to sell that. But yeah, they just, I don't know what it is. Like, just stop getting good T-shirts. It used to be like if I got 5 bags of T-shirts, I could at least count on like having like 4 or 5 like decent mid-range T-shirts. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that's right. I forgot. This T-shirt actually came from Denim Beard. So yeah, thanks. It like matches my like vintage LL Bean green flannel like perfectly. So it's like a pretty common combo that I wear. All right, we got a bunch of blank white tees from Calbo's. That's whoever owned them was named Calbo's. Calbo's. Oh, come on, please. Mostly I just want to like make back the money. I think the most valuable T-shirt I've ever pulled from here is like maybe $200. I think I've sold. I don't even remember what it was, but I do recall like a couple tees coming out that were like pretty banger tees. We've had a few times where there's like a bunch of like wrestling tees, like vintage wrestling tees, and those work out really well. We've had like a handful of random like band tees, a couple Grateful Deads, one really good Grateful Dead. Used to hang on my back wall a lot for a long time. Got a blank. We got a BVD. Got a BVD blank tee. That's really all we got out of these is blank tees. Now I'm like the king of. Anybody on any alternative eBay alternative selling platforms? I'm curious. How's it going over there? Obviously not Poshmark. We just talked about Poshmark. I'm on Poshmark and I'm on Grailed. And what's this? Oh, I got a 2000 National Geographic T-shirt. It's kind of cool. It's a wolf tee. Wolf tees are great. That's a keeper. Okay, that's all right. Julie, the thrifting is good. That actually might be true. I don't really know if that is the case because of abandoned buildings. But little known, and here's a tip. St. Louis is a gigantic central point for rag houses thrift donations to end up in rag houses in St. Louis. Huge. In fact, like just about everywhere in the Midwest, actually go all the way up to where Rob is in Illinois, all the way down past where I am here, and all the way west and east of St. Louis. And for like hundreds of miles radius, lots and lots of thrift stores, rag houses, all send their stuff to St. Louis. Mostly because it gets there and then goes, travels down the Mississippi, down to New Orleans or whatever. But St. Louis is incredibly common. So the thrifting there is good there, probably partly because there's some abandoned houses, but also because it's a central point in the textile recycling industry. What does the label look like on a vintage LL Bean? Well, I'll show you. This is not that old, but it's older. I think it's probably 70s. I don't know if you can see it, but it's black, got yellow. Oh no, Eddie Bauer. Why did I say LL Bean? I meant Eddie Bauer. Sorry, I forgot. I just had an LL Bean jacket out there, but it's Eddie Bauer. The flannel is not LL Bean. It's Eddie Bauer. Sorry, I got mixed up. I had an LL Bean in green, but it didn't fit me. I used to. It might have fit me now. I've lost. If you haven't noticed, I've lost 30 pounds since like August, September. Um, so a lot of things that I've been like holding on to hopefully fit me finally do fit me. So yeah, very excited about that. Oh yeah. Thanks, Rob. Um, but man, abandoned houses. I really want to get back into doing that. Um, I'm just kind of like a goody two shoes, and I don't want to break any rules or step on anyone's toes. So I generally am trying to find permission from the owner, which makes it a little bit harder to get into these places. Not everyone does that. Not everyone thinks you really need to do that, especially if you're just like checking it out, not trying to not trying to take stuff out. If you're just like exploring, or some people just don't care. Me, I'm trying not to get shot because out here people will do that. So, um, hey, thanks, guys. Yeah. I feel better, look better. Mostly, I'm excited because I can fit more vintage clothes. A hunting app, interesting. That is an interesting. Man, you always have the best ideas. Uh, don't broadcast it too broadly. It's funny because I actually have. I hired my brother-in-law, who's pretty good at like research and stuff and like secretary stuff. And we drove around the county and like located a bunch of abandoned houses and used like the internet, the power of the internet, to find the contact information for the owners. And he was supposed to like start calling people, but I don't think he ever did. So we'll get that back going eventually. I'd love to get into more. I probably should have done more in the winter because you don't have as much like bugs or snakes, but whatever. I mean, bugs, snakes, and vintage clothing. You got risk it for the biscuit. All right. Oh yeah, clean outs are great. I just had somebody contact me about a clean out they're doing a bit east of me. And I'm still waiting to hear back. It was like really bad storms during that time. They're like, we won't be back in there for a little while. We'll call you when the weather's better when we go back in. So they said it's a bunch of like clothing from the 60s. It's like a whole truckload. So hopefully they call me back. We can work it out. Or hopefully we can get back in contact and nail it down and bring all that back because that'd be fun. Yeah, I've been starting to think about, or I have a couple friends that are real estate agents, and I'm gonna try to talk and get in touch with them. This is like the new thing. This is kind of funny because like when I started in like 2015, 2016, it's all about thrift stores. Everything was about thrift stores. Nobody considered anything but going to thrift stores. And obviously the thrift store scene exploded and everybody's going. And so it got, started noticing in like 2019, 2020. Obviously 20 was a weird year, but like it just became super crazy competitive. And going to thrift stores, while I still do it occasionally, it's just not like, just won't like, I almost quit almost 2 years ago because I was like, the thrift stores aren't yielding anything. There's just nothing in them. And so I was like, I can't feed my family this way anymore, even though I did it for like 3 years that way. So I almost quit and almost went back to get another job. And that's when I found the Rag House. And then I started thinking a bit outside of the box, like, all right, we have to think about sourcing differently. Instead of waiting for stuff to get to the thrift stores, you got to get to it before that. Ooh. Yeah, Rob's full of good tips. That's a great tip. Um, that's a great tip. In fact, I'm gonna go call someone tomorrow probably. um, yeah, so it's just like you have to start thinking about sourcing in just a completely different way if you're trying to make this like a full-time gig. If you're just doing it part-time, it's because it's fun, a little bit extra money. Thrift stores will probably do just fine. Of course, the thrift store prices have just been going up and up. It's crazy. I went to a super small town thrift store today, and um, they were like charging $5 for a single T-shirt, and there were two Jeff Hamilton jackets, racing jackets, not like really good looking ones, and they wanted $50 each. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is a small town thrift store, like maybe 1,000 people in the city. Like what you have no. And they had like the like tags, the like anti-theft tags on them. Like you guys really don't have any business doing that. Like, is that really necessary in a super small town? I know you don't want to get stolen from. That sucks. But like $50, really? That's why people are stealing, because no one's gonna be able to buy that. Yeah, I mean, thrift stores just got way out of hand, and honestly, you know, um, I'm a pretty small channel, so I will not assume a lot of the blame, but I will assume a little bit of the blame because, um, I mean, I've had people at the work at thrift stores like contact me or comment on my channel that they've used some of my videos in like researching stuff that comes into their donation. So it's like, yeah, part of the problem, like thrift YouTube. Um, but like on the flip side, like I mean, the flip side, they're kind of screwing themselves because what ends up happening is that everybody gets sick of their prices and sick of of all that of the inflation there, and they work around them because like here's the deal: these thrift stores get it for free, most of them, um, and I would be willing to pay money for these same donations. Not a lot of money, but I'd be willing to pay money, and so I think these thrift stores are going to end up not having higher quality stuff because they've priced people out of actually shopping there, and that's I think Goodwill's like foolish for that, thinking that that was a good idea to price up everything. And now if they have to price things up because of inflation, I get that to some degree, but you're getting it for free, so like figure that out. You know what I mean? But there's going to be so much. I mean, I think people are going to be so creative and try, because if I stood in front of a Goodwill and advertised, I would pay you $10 per bag of clothes, which might be a little bit too much. But if I advertised that I would pay you for clothes versus you just donating them, you might end up with more. You know, I might be able to compete with them, and suddenly they don't have the stuff anymore. So that's kind of the give and take here, is that if they want to play this price up game, don't forget you don't have a monopoly on sourcing clothes. So yeah, so I encourage anybody in this business, like, get creative. Don't rely on the thrift store. The bins are okay. Bins are great. If you have a bins, they got Goodwill outlet in your town, obviously use it. But like, put out ads. In fact, I gave out one business card to one lady that I bought at a yard sale, and she's now passed it on to like 3 or 4 other people that I've had opportunities to buy from. So like, business cards, you'd be surprised at yard sale. Pass and say, hey, I buy clothes. Here's a card. If you ever have any extra clothes or know somebody who has a bunch of extra clothes, I'll buy them. You might end up having to like buy some crap. Hopefully don't overpay. You might have to buy some crap just to like build a reputation that you buy clothes. But if you know how to manage that and you're smart, like you can, that's a great way to source and have stuff come to you. Yeah, flyers are killer. $21.99. That's crazy. I mean, to think that literally 5 years ago, maybe even less than 5 years, maybe 4 years ago, like I would go into a thrift store and jackets, no jacket ever was priced more than $10, no matter where I went. Like Goodwill, Salvation Army, local small town thrift stores, nobody was priced over $10 for a jacket. Now it's like just the standard. They're doing so much research on the backside. I mean, look, I don't mind. I mean, I don't mind this. Like Goodwill, they got it. They're getting arrogant. They think because they feel like they have this monopoly on donations because they get it so for free that some resale. This is probably true. Some reseller is going to say, "Hey, they have it priced at 50% of market. I'll go ahead and buy it, and make the extra 50 or the extra 50." But what we don't remember sometimes is that you've got selling fees. It may sit forever, like tying up capital. So I just recommend stick it to the thrift stores. Like go around them. Like most of these thrift stores are like Goodwill don't exist as a charity. They're not a charity, so you're not like being charitable necessarily by buying there. They have a mission, and their mission is to employ people, and to employ people that they make more money. So it's like basically it's everything that a normal, non 501c3 business would do, except they take their profits and or they don't take profits in the same way. Okay. So if I were you, figure out a way to get to the clothing before it gets to the thrift store. I think that's like the name of the game. That's where if you want to make this thing elite, we got to go. Yeah, never underestimate church sales, and yeah, bins will get better. Here's the thing. So there's a really great Goodwill outlet down in Little Rock. Huge. I mean, it's like it's a Walmart size. It's crazy. I've never seen it's the biggest outlet I've ever seen. I've been to outlets all over the country. Clearly the biggest Goodwill outlet I've ever seen. It's bigger than most people's outlet. Like Paul Cantu goes to an outlet on his channel in Houston. That's tiny compared to what is going on in Little Rock. But what I happen to know is that at least to some degree, at least sometimes, Goodwill is buying bales to then break open, put in the outlets. And you may not realize this, but you can probably buy bales yourself. That's a big sort of operation that you have to deal with. But buying a bale is not that complicated. The rag house I go to, they have an exclusive contract with a third party that basically doesn't allow them to sell bales to anybody but this contracted party. So I can't buy bales from them. But if you you talk to the right people, you can buy bales. May not be profitable, but you can buy them. So, yeah. Anyway, so that was all the bags, by the way. Nothing really in the show, but hanging out with you has been a delight. So that will be my payment for the day. So thank you guys for hanging out. Right now, I'm watching my brother and sister-in-law's 5 kids, along with my 4, and they're all in my house right now watching a movie, and my wife is probably losing her mind. So I will have to cut this here and go play rescue. So yes, Daniel, you're absolutely right. They are taking good stuff and putting online. Some Goodwills more than others. So Goodwill was brilliant in that they realized, hey, we're getting all this free stuff. They didn't realize at first. They were dumb to not realize at first. We're getting all this really, really good stuff for free. And all we need to know is what it is. And because education on the internet is so cheap and free, basically, it was easy to stick some employees in the back, let them watch YouTube for hours on end, and try to identify vintage clothing or valuable clothing, not just vintage. Because actually, I would bet that they are more concerned with luxury goods than they really are with vintage. Though though there are some, I'm sure, that are trying to pull out vintage stuff. I've been to a number of stores, but now a lot of stores have vintage aisles, vintage sections. So, but anyway, all right, guys. Hope your week. This is the end of the week, but I hope your weekend goes well, and I hope you guys find great stuff in the thrifts and abandoned houses, wherever, next week. And we'll see you guys later. We'll have a video, I think, hopefully on Sunday. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.